Okay, so what I'm going to do is that this is the first time we're going to set this up at the marina. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do mast stepping, single-handed, with all the tools that I picked up off the internet. I didn't invent this stuff. I just took what I saw and sort of made it my own. So take a look, tell me what you think, or you can make use of it. Fantastic. These are the tools of the trade. Got a gin pole, 2x4, it's 8 feet long. Got a winch on it. I'll show you once it's hooked up. You can just see the parts. Have a mast crutch that's made out of, it looks like about 1-inch galvanized piping. And what the previous owner made this. It has a roller up on top. It is adjustable. I've never adjusted it. It weighs a ton. I'd like something lighter. And then also for the gunions, or pintles for the gunions, what they did is they just took, looks like about 3-inch bolts, and they sanded down or grinded down the threads on one end, stuck them through the holes. There are some holes they drilled, and then just bent it over, and so they put them in the gunions. So, and then I've got the two A-frames, or my A-frame here, made out of two copper tubings. And what they do is, rather than mounting, I've seen it where they took the hardware and mounted it to the deck, and then they mounted the tubing onto the deck. I'm not a person who likes to put holes in things, and because I'm not very good at it. So to save me the aggravation, what I made is chocks that the A-frame will hold into, and because it doesn't have to be, it just has to be stable. It doesn't have to be secure, really tightly secured, because as long as the mast stays up, the A-frame will keep it into that position through leverage. And if the mast were to go over any distance, of course it would break. It would just fall right over. So the whole purpose of the A-frame is to keep it up in that center position as the mast goes up. And I'll show you that as we go through the process. Other than that, let me go ahead and I'll get it up there, and then we can I'll show you how it's set up, and then we'll run it through a raising. I'll also do a shutdown, or when I bring it down.
Okay. Here's the boat. I've got the gin pole on it. You'll see what I'm using is, I also have a roller furler. So what I'm doing is, the roller furler is bungeed to the mast just so I keep it from bending too much. And since it's an internal halyard for the furler, I can use the jib halyard as to raise it, and I can just stow the halyard, just hook it to the mast because it's not in use. I'll be using the furler. And then you'll see the gin pole with the winch on it, and then it goes down. And I have the previous owner built some wood blocks to hold the mast when it's down, and I just actually put it around the mast, around that block assembly. You could easily just put it around the stanchions there and bring it down that way. And then when it's close enough, I have enough distance for the furler, I can go ahead and hook my furler up without coming all the way down. And I'll show you in a minute. And you'll see there's the A-frame mounted. And this was a brilliant idea. One of the best ideas I've ever heard was using a gooseneck, the slide for gooseneck, because I tried to bridle, but I could never get it to line up directly with the mast. So the gooseneck idea was fantastic because it slides with the mast. It doesn't have to be even with the mast because it can move. And I don't care about it moving vertically. It's the horizontal I'm concerned about. So it's fantastic. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get up there and start. I'll take pictures from up on top, give you a better view, and show you the chocks that the A-frames are mounted on. Here's the one. See, all I did was I just set up a 2x6. I cut it to fit in there, and then what I do is I just use some wedges that'll actually slide in here, and I've never had a problem with this actually moving. And on the bottom I got some non-slip stuff get from a hardware store, and it holds perfect, beautifully, because it's actually pushing out a little bit, but remember, not too much, because as long as the mast is straight up and down, we're okay. And I've put this up in 25-mile-an-hour winds and taken it down. It's never been a problem. So let's give it a run for its money. Okay, here's the better, let me slide up here. Here's the better view of the slide on the A-frame. And these are about 3.5, 4 feet. I just want to make sure they didn't go down to where the mast gates would go, where you put the sail in, or else it'd pop out, of course. And then we come over here. There's the gin pole.
Okay, there it is. It's stuck. Inevitably, I get to raise this without the cable. Everything else looks good. I can stop, have lunch. Stays, Mast stays where I put it. Okay, and we'll continue. I just hold it just because I'm pessimistic. I want to make sure the roller furling doesn't do it. All right. Still stable. I've got to fix the pigtail. Don't like to be behind it. You never know what's happening. I'm pulling my head. Okay. Point. Last. There we go. Voila. One mast. Ready to go. And all I do is just hook it up, turn it off.